Hi there. Before we embark on any sort of concept art, just want to sort of go through the idea of collecting reference material. No matter what your subject, you should really study it in lots of detail. Now, in our concept, we know it's in a forest, so the obvious thing to do is collect lots of forest imagery for reference, trees, shapes of trees, leaves, and I'll go through that in a second. And we know our focal point is going to be this hut that we've designated for our scene. And if you've chosen something else for yours, then you do a similar thing for your focal point or your object that you're going to create. But just go into Google. We're not going to take any of these. We're not going to use them in any capacity. We're just looking for reference, and we're just going to study how things are made. For example, huts. Plenty of huts in the forest images, and you can just look at these, study how they're made, study the rooftops. What sort of roof do you want? What's the structure? How is it held up? Interesting designs. Even though I've gone for a very simple design in the concept we're about to create, but I kept it simple so I could get this course done and out to you, but still sort of make it interesting and keep the quality up. But it's up to you. If you want to do something else, do something else. If you want a different design, create your own concept and design your own hut. Make it believable. Look at designs, look at reference material and see how it's constructed. Now, if you want to use any imagery in your concept art, there are plenty of free websites around, like Pixabay, for example. Got lots of free images on here. You just have a look, go through it, and there's several other websites you can use to get free imagery and for your concept material if you want to use it in a commercial sort of sense. The other thing is, of course, is to take your own imagery, and I've done that a lot. I've gone out and I've taken lots of images of bark, and I've taken lots of images of tree roots in my local forest, and I go through reference material several times in this course because it's really important that you study the subject that you're going to create. Unless, of course, it's fantasy, but even fantasy objects are sort of based on reality, and the sort of structure's still got to hold up. So study your subjects. And what else have I got in here? You can see branches. I took a lot of sort of branches and tree, just random stuff that I found useful. Squirrels hiding in the trees. Tree plants, you can see lots of leaves. These we start to use later on, some of these in our textures, so really useful, and that is really nice. Big old roots in the ground, be interesting. There's me taking some pictures of leaves on my knee just to get a close-up look of them. And I love this sort of, this is the thing about studying them. Look at the colour of that stem, the colour of the edges of these leaves, yellowed out, and all the detail that goes into it. It's really important that you understand why that's happening, and it's obviously a dying leaf, or it's starting to come into fall, and they're starting to yellow. A few log stumps, which I looked at when I created the log stump in this course, and some mushrooms next to it down there. Some more logs, because we got a log pile, so I looked at that. Lots of reference. This is the thing, and you can even, if you take your own imagery, you can use them for textures. You've got to have a fairly decent. I think these are in HD 1920, 1920 1080. So it's probably not quite high enough quality. You need at least 2K really textures. So that's it for now. I just wanted to do that. Important to gather some. I've gathered some, so you should go out and do the same. Either scour the internet, but don't use them in your imagery. Use them for reference. Look at them, study them, and you won't regret it. It's a really important part of the process. So okay, that's it for now. Just wanted to get that across, and I'll see you in the next lecture.